Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Shantia here. So we are back for another deep dive for one of the couples. Today we are doing Noi and Steve. And because I'm recording these back to back, I'm hot. I'm so hot right now. My computer is like so tired. Might hear the fan in the background. If there is a loud noise, I'll just put audio over this. And that's usually why I do put the audios, because I've had some like technical difficulties here and there. All right, so I wanted to start with this. In this video, we are going to be sharing opinions. This is for opinions, my opinions. This is for entertainment, so let's just keep that in mind. We are talking about real people. When we comment down in the comments section, take into consideration how we are talking about people. I always take into consideration, you never know. You never know, because this is very opinionated, but let's be honest, I want to give constructive criticism to people. All right, so if you're new to my channel, this channel is dedicated to helping women live in a way that feels the most natural to them, which is why I created the Heal, Feel, and Reveal series. Check out that series. It's about helping women to align their inner work with their outer work. So the inner work is like the healing that we do, the clarity, the processing. The outer work is when we go out there and we pursue our goals. So essentially, it's like feminine and masculine energy balance to obtain that optimal flow in life. All right. I want to start out with this question today. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Make sure you comment down below, like, subscribe, comment down below, support the channel. And let's go ahead and start with Noi and Steve's deep dive. The thing to me that sticks out when it comes to Noi and Steve's relationship is Steve when it comes to his provider ways, and Noi when it comes to her emotional maturity. So let's go ahead and take a deep dive. Now, obviously, I think Noi and Steve are absolutely going to say yes. The man bought her a ring because he's in love. I think he is in love. I think he really does care about her. I feel like he is feeling that emotional connection with her. I think Steve is the type of person, he jumps into things with his, excitement, enthusiasm, and emotions for life. And Noi is an emotional person. Even though she has a hard time communicating her emotions and expressing herself sometimes, and she holds a lot of things back, and she has a lot of issues with, I think, just communicating and releasing that aggression and those frustrating emotions, because truly Steve he's a very smart guy. You can just talk he's a very smart, level-headed guy. You can talk to him, you can bring up certain problems and issues you feel like you're having in a relationship, and I feel like he would just have a totally calm, chill, practical response to it. Maybe sometimes he might be a little defensive, which he did come off in a few episodes when she asked about the job, which we're going to get into. And then she gets a little closed off, right? She closes down, she shuts down. So that dynamic, that way of processing her emotions isn't going to help. And he's already let her know, hey, this isn't going to work long term if we can't just communicate with each other how we're feeling. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about this. I think this sometimes can be very controversial, is the protector-provider concept. This idea that the man or the masculine in the partnership should work, the 50-50 thing. The thing is, it's up to you to decide what lifestyle you want. I never think a woman should ever have to compromise her desire for her lifestyle. The problem is, nagging your partner isn't going to make them your ideal person, your ideal provider. That's not what works. What women are great at is the inner work. We're great at energy work. When you do your energy work and you decide, hey, I get to have this lifestyle, you let that lifestyle or those desires come through you through many other ways, not just the partner. However, we're talking about just a job. We're not talking about him like being this 100% provider. We're not talking about him to totally change and transform his lifestyle. We're just saying, hey, we need some income to pay some bills consistently. We can't live off of savings. That's not practical unless you have some amazing investments. So, and the thing is, I never heard a plan. I never heard him talk about investments. I didn't hear him talk about any of that. I just heard him talk about the theoretical idea of like what they could do. He's like, theoretically, I could work. And then we would have to split house chores. And I'm just like, okay, something seems to be amiss here. Something seems to be amiss. And I think that's why Steve is single. Right? He has all of these boxes checked. He has all of these great qualities for a partner, except for the like, wait, do you have a job? Like, does he have an income? So obviously it's not like he's been unemployed forever. It's been 4 months since he's been unemployed. He joked with Noi on episode 16, hey, maybe I should have just got that job and then things would have been smoothed out. Yeah, but it wasn't just getting the job. It's just saying, yes, I'm going to get a job. I never heard that. I never heard a clear plan. I mean, he has some ideas, some suggestions, but honestly, you just need to show her the receipts. So as a woman, let me say this, you deserve to see the receipts. You deserve to see the tax return before you decide to financially commit to a partner, because it's a huge obligation sometimes to like tie your finances together and be like, how does this person spend money? How do they work with money? Because I will tell you this, once finances become a primary issue, now we're in survival mode. There ain't no love for the luxuries of life and the enjoyments of the romance. Now we're worried about surviving. And Noi comes from a past of having to see her parents literally, physically bleed to survive. So where that is her fear, how can we find a way to compromise so that she sees that you are considerate of her fear? All right. So the provider thing, I don't know. I don't know all of what Steve is about. I just get the sense that he wants to be very creative and explore himself, right? Explore that side. I would say if he really wants to commit and they want to move in together, just agree to pay half the expenses or a healthy portion of expenses. They can move into someplace like modest where she could probably afford it pretty well, and then he could pay, a fraction of that with his savings. And during that period, use that as a trial time to kind of explore. If that's what he really wants to do, if that inspiration is what he's needing and is calling to, go ahead and do it. But make a plan. Make a plan. Really give her that sense of security that she needs to understand, okay, this is what's going to work. But I would say as a woman, energetically, there's a couple things. Yes, you can absolutely want that lifestyle. Know that it may not necessarily come through your partner. It might just come through like some other kind of magical means. You might get the dream job of a lifetime. Perhaps you might get inheritance. You just don't know. You don't know. I've learned to just kind of trust into it shows up. It shows up and somehow it's going to build, and it does. And it's crazy when you start trusting more in it's going to come, but also I'm going to build my skills so I can bring in the moolah, right? Bring in that money and create that lifestyle for myself that I already want and desire. Yeah, so that's like my only thing about Steve is like give her a solid plan. If you want to explore, if that's what you want to do, then go ahead and give her a plan and say, hey, I'm going to use a portion of my savings so I care about you and we're not just leaning heavily on you. And I want you to calm your fears and understand that that's never going to be a problem. I am a provider. I do take care of my family. I do want to take care of my kids. I think he has some of the energy. We just need the practicality. We need to see the receipts. Now, Noi's main issue was her inability to express her emotions. And there is some kind of like confusion around chores between both of them. Because Noi was saying, okay, if I'm working and you're not working, why are we splitting chores 50-50? That is an energetic thing you're also going to have to work through with your partner, where you guys find a balance. Part of the reason might be the reason why he's not... Okay, there's like a couple reasons. I've said this before, time and time again. Men get very logical. They get very logical when they can't feel their heart. So if you're closed off, they might not really be as willing to want to help. If you're a very... just open person and you allow them to be them, then they're going to be like, okay, I want to help you. I want to make sure the house is clean. This is good. This is like, they're just naturally, they're hardwired to do that. They're hardwired to respond. So just give them space to do that. Maybe trust that in that experience. And the way you do that is by energetically just deciding, hey, this is what I want. I don't want to do all the chores. Maybe even some people, what they do, they hire someone to do the chores. I'm not saying that that's going to be their solution, but neither of them want to do all of the chores. Neither of them want to do all of the deep cleaning. So they hire someone to do that. So it's just something you're going to have to understand with one another. But yes, nagging, it does not help. Nagging someone to do chores, but also pull your weight, right? Don't do no chores. I was getting a sense from Noi, the way that she responded was very immature at times. Very immature, where she was just like, no, you do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm like, okay, you guys are both adults. Just talk to each other like adults. Thankfully, Steve communicates like an adult. Thankfully, he does. So I'm just like, Noi needs to as well. She needs to do that. You know, that passive communication isn't going to help the relationship. So long as she continues to directly say, don't nag, but definitely communicate with your partner and let them know, hey, this is not what I want. This is what I want. This is my ideal. This is what would make me feel loved. And definitely, I would say for women, use your emotions to connect to how you feel about a situation. To connect to how you feel about a situation, but also to communicate. Because sometimes women, they shut off their emotions and they're like, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. And I'm like, or sometimes they get lost in their emotions. I'm like, control. Just bring it down to neutral and just communicate directly what you want. And sometimes, a lot of the times, the reason why women struggle to get what they want is because they already believe they can't have it. So it has nothing to do with your partner. You know, whether you get that lifestyle or what you want, or, you know, chores being dished out fairly, it has more to do with your confidence. So I think Noi has like an inner confidence she's having to work on to understand her power. When you understand your power, you don't have to do all of that. Queen energy is just about owning it and understanding that you can get what you want without nagging. It's just an expectation. Like, this gets to happen for me. Just say that. This gets to happen for me. I get to be happy. I get to have what I want. When you're in the habit of saying, oh, I don't know if I can have what I want, that's what it becomes, a self-fulfilling prophecy. Okay, so that is kind of my deep dive with Noi and Steve. The two of them had a lot of other really great things figured out. I just hope that they can figure out those main issues, because it will make their relationship so much more fulfilling. It'd be nice. It'd be nice to see some like positive numbers go up in Married First Sight, because I would say typically the success rate is about 25%. I would love to see it go up. Go up. I feel like it's gone down the past seasons because we haven't had really any successful couples. Last season was not happening. So it would be nice to see the percentage go up and see more couples work through their stuff and understand that, you know, as much as you might desire for the perfect partner or whatever, maybe this is the perfect partner for you. And maybe you guys just need to work on you, you know, heal that within you, heal those insecurities within you, feel that power within you, and your partner will kind of naturally meet you where you're at. All right. So that is my deep dive for Noi and Steve. I hope you guys have a wonderful day or evening. Check out my Heal, Feel, and Reveal series. Check out my website, my first and last name, and check out my Monday motivation videos if you haven't yet. I hope you guys have a wonderful day or evening for the second time. Bye.